to my 140 square foot fashion studio in New York. Let's do a little tour. Obviously, it is a bit of a mess in here, but I figured I would just give you a sense of what it looks like on your average day while I have 9 million projects going on at once. Here's the door. It's got my logo window decal on it. If you can see, it faces the outside. My cutting tables are blocking a little bit of the entrance right now because I needed to make more room for my rack, but it's working fine for the moment. Here is everything that I'm working on right now on the table. This is my Tambour embroidery setup. I'm in the middle of filming a virtual course where I'm teaching how to bead one of these flowers. I'm not working on it today, but it can't really go away, so it's kind of shoved in the back of the table for now. Today, I'm working on this boxy silk tee. I just adjusted the pattern for it, so I'm using some of my templates to lay out the graphic, and then this is the silk that I'm gonna cut it out of in a few minutes. This is a rug tufting setup, and then this is just canvas stretcher bars that I put together when I was making my stained glass dress so that I'd have something really big to lay the pieces out on. Here we have my desk. It is a disaster. I will deal with this today. Back on this wall, I have all of my storage cubes, lots of fashion books that I've collected over the years. This block is all machine embroidery and felting supplies. We have paints and dyes, beads, rhinestones, some old samples. This is actually the shirt that I'm wearing today. Fabric, threads, and eyelets and notions. I like to keep all of that right next to my sewing machine so that everything is accessible whenever I need it. And then on this back wall here, I hang all of my patterns. They don't look organized, but I actually do have them tagged. These are all my basic blocks up top that are labeled by size. And then my collection patterns are on this second rack. So I have the stained glass dress pattern here and some more hanging behind. This is my rack for the current collection. I have some fabrics hanging there, some finished pieces and some that are kind of halfway done, but we can just flip through. These are some basic block drapes that I just saved for future. I had some leftover painted flowers from the stained glass dress that I'm trying to do a top version of. I scanned and had them printed on fabric, but I just feel like nothing really compares to this vibrancy, so I'm still working that out. This fabric that I'm going to use for a future tambour beading project. This is a most of the way done sample that I decided that I'm not happy with. I'm going to remake. I have not decided what I'm going to do with this fabric yet, but I just don't want to waste it because it's so pretty. 100% silk chiffon two-tone. And also, this is one of my favorite prints. It's just this ombre I painted in the colors of my collection, so I thought it was so perfect. Some ideas for an embroidered tank top, initial mock-up for a future piece. I feel like I'm kind of changing the direction on how this is gonna go, so I've been holding off on it for now. Corset pattern, this corset that I made a little while ago. This is the fabric that I got to be the back of the cake bag, which I'll show you in a second. And the stained glass dress, which is just awaiting final finishings and an internal structure. Here is sort of what I'm working on today. I've changed it up quite a bit. And then the super viral dress with all these beaded flowers that I made that the course is going to reference. And then my current big project, which is this woven jacket set, kind of like a macro version of this textile that I made from embroidery threads. And that is what's left to show you on the floor over here. I have all these yarns, and this is the base pair of pants that I'm gonna use to weave on top of with the rest of this yarn and on the mannequin. Up here, I have some accessories that I finished. So the cake shoes, which I definitely wanna do some more of, the disco ball clutch, which was really fun to work on. This was a fabric sample that I did while I was designing the woven jacket. And of course the beaded cake bag, which is kind of flat right now. I'm actually going to make it a little bit more sturdy in 3D. Of course, I also have all your standard sewing tools, muslin pattern paper, oak tag for sloper patterns, and all of those are stocked in the corner over here, not very nicely. And yeah, that is my studio tour. I've been here for about 1.5 years now. As you can see, I'm definitely growing out of it, so I'm working really hard to find a bigger space that's within a reasonable budget. but this is truly such a unicorn of a spot. It is all windows and I just am obsessed with the natural light, and I got it for a really good rate, so I'm kind of not sure if I'll ever find anything like this again, and I feel like I can't give it up. Since it is so full in here, I try to keep this space for more of my big sewing projects, and then I work at home on more small embellishing projects that I like to do while I watch TV at night anyway. So if you follow me, you'll probably see a mix of me working here and at home to bring my collection to life. I really feel like this is like the real New York City artist experience. You can even hear the nice ambiance of the city in the subway that's right outside. And yeah, that is my studio tour. And I'm excited to share a little bit more in depth behind the scenes as my business grows and as I finish more work.